I'm at Branscombe tea room. Wasn't sure if they're open till 4 or 5 because quite a lot of National Trust tea rooms are closed at 4. So I'm actually finally here. So, oh, little birdie, that Robin. Yes, Robin's on the table next to me. Probably looking for munchie. So yeah, I made it as I thought. It was quite flat. It's just that there's this horrible western cliffs and going down and up from Western Mouth. That was horrible in this heat. If it was 10 degrees less, even 5 degrees less, and a breeze, I would have ramped it. But I actually had to stop 3 times. I stopped for lunch, then I stopped once and again, and I stopped again. I think it was 3 or 4 times. It could be 4. I think it was 3 times I stopped. Strictly 4 times because I stopped because I started getting a blister on one of my on my right leg. There's unfortunately I had socks with a hole in, and I kind of ripped them more when I put them on, and I didn't go and replace them. I should have, because that bit started rubbing against my shoe. So silly. So I have to retire those. But luckily we have a first aid kit with blister plaster, so I just put a blister plaster on and rotated the sock around. So it seems to be right. The plans were to go here and then walk back again. I think what I'm going to do is walk inland and try and get the 9A bus back, because it's just, yeah, if it wasn't for the fact it's so hot and those horrible steps the steps from hell, I have to call this the steps from hell, going down and up. Steps actually make it harder. This is the weird thing, and I understand why they put steps in. And I have to say, Devon seemed to be a bit more tourist focused, although they tend to put more signs up and more fences and stop you going anywhere near the edges and stuff, which is a bit like, yeah, it's a bit annoying for an artist when you can't get to the edges to see what, to paint the views or draw them. Or there's big gorse brushes or something. So, yeah, I think they think it's making it more accessible, but actually it's not, because the distance of each step means you have to kind of bunny stop, or you have to risk. And certainly if you've got a pack on, it's very dangerous to do this. You can just step from one to the other, like stepping stones, but if you're putting all of your weight onto one leg when you do that, and it's like it's a risk if you slip. You're carrying weight, not a simple thing to do. So you end up having bunny step up and down them, which just makes it even worse. So yes, tea. Add tea and macaroon. I like this macaroon thing, gluten-free macaroons. That's a good idea. More of them, but not from Corf. It was from Sidmouth. But yeah, I wish we'd have those at home. It would be better than the ever-present flapjack. So, you're speaking to you with my mouth full. It depends how long it takes to get inland. I need to look at where the bus stops are. In 9A, it will be running. And I'm getting to that road. Certainly there's also there are the Axe Valley Transport Services which are running, but they don't run that late. I think they might have gone by now. Last ones, they don't run very late on Saturday. There's only about 3 services on a Saturday. So the best thing is to try and find the 9A route and see how far that is. And head back to Sidmouth, or find an inland route, or even a road route, which doesn't go anywhere near those hills, or bypasses that horrible western mouth bit. The mouth itself, the beach and the river's really useful. It's just the steps going. I mean, down wasn't too much a problem for me, but there's just those really hot steps going up forever and ever and ever, just constant steps. And luckily there was shade, but it was just like, And I think the blister is partly because I was putting so much. My foot was moving around so much because that's what happens when you go up those silly steps. So yes, I'm not a fan of steps. The band and the thing. There was a reason why they use steps for training. They're actually quite hard on the knees and quite a big workout. So I don't understand why they think they're putting them is actually more helpful. It's not really. It may be less slidey and slippy, but it's very steep. But I actually find it easier to walk up normal tracks or grass or not gravel, but that. So yes, I'm just trying to chill out a bit and hide from the heat, and then head back. I need to go into Sidmouth anyway because I need a bit of shopping. So I might not do the Sidmouth. It depends what time. I don't want to do a night because I don't know the route. It's only a few miles across the coast to Salcombe Mouth. And I was there today on the other side. So it's kind of like a scope part of the route, so it might be right. But there is a bit of an uppy downy, I think, on the other side. Bit of a hill, so I'll be coming down it, and obviously don't know what I'll be doing. That's Salcombe Cliffs, I think. We'll see. Famous last words. I remember the one. Was it last year? I did the 7 miles with all my shopping in my bag. Wouldn't recommend. So I might bail out and do that tomorrow, because tomorrow's apparently going to be all rainy and muggy and cold. Wonderful. Everyone's going because they go over with cars. You're actually walking in a distance. You want it to be cooler and not boiling, because water becomes an issue, as it did today. And also, it's one of the reasons why I got here at 4 is I could have made it at 3, but I would have drank all my water. So the people that were rushing past me probably either had a lot of water or ran out of water. I don't know what they were doing for water. Or just one of those weird people that are naturally cool in hot atmospheres. But that's the thing about endurance hiking or long hiking versus long distance hiking versus those people you see, and I've talked about before, who sort of go from the car park, run up the big hill, go down the other side, run back again. They're not doing that at distance, because you can't do that at distance because you run out of water and you just kill yourself. So yeah, and you see those people speed hiking around along the coastal path, especially around Lulworth and Osmington, that sort of area, Weymouth. I don't know how far they go. I suspect they're just doing a circular route to their car, but they've certainly driven that. They've definitely not walked there. Whereas I've usually walked 2 or 3 miles. Apart from Newley's here, it's about a mile away, maybe less, to the Mouse. I think maybe 3/4 to a mile. Most of the time I've been staying places that are several miles away, so you have to walk miles to get to the thing and then walk miles back. So it always adds extra. Whereas if you can drive to a conveniently sited car park, usually on top of a hill somewhere, and then run down the hill and run back up again, well, that's not really endurance, is it? So I have to pace myself. And pace myself slowly, otherwise you end up with no water and you're on some peak somewhere or on some lonely path, and you're like, would not recommend. Done it too many times. So the one the people were sprinting past me who were younger, I was like going, yeah, that's just your way. I always remember the thing like last year through the cool forest, the Undercliff walk, which I said was the most boring coastal walk ever, which it was. But there was a guy who was in his 20s, who was hot and bothered and red, and I was like, what? Because I'd just done 7 miles of it, or 5 miles by then, and I was like, and he was like, does it get Does it get any worse? And they're saying it's not worse. What's your, it was very strange. I don't understand. Maybe he climbed up from Weymouth at high speed or something. I don't know. It was very odd. Because I can walk in those conditions for miles. It just bores me, but, I prefer it when it's cooler. Whenever it's cooler out on the cliffs or there's a good breeze, it's fine. So anyway. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon. Behold the Sidford Spar, the much gloried Sidford Spar that we have much heard of in the timetables and annals of old. And we glory in the magnificence of the Sidford Spar, even though it is closed because of staff shortages and just closed at 7 o'clock. But we shall forever remember and hold in our hearts the Sidford Spar, because it is a glory and a wonder to behold. A wonder that is dedicated in the timetables of all buses that come to this area, and so thus the much exalted and nay even cathedral-like Spar is in our hearts and our memories forevermore, even when it's closed. As you might have guessed from that allegory, I was passing the Sidford Spar. I'd heard much about the Sidford Spar. As I say, it's all on the timetables, and it's as impressive as its fame that precedes it. But yeah, I'm walking back from Waitrose, as you do. I got a very nice lift from a guy. I met a lovely Staffie called Cassie, who works at the National Trust, Branscombe, because I asked them, which road does it go from? Because I was like thinking, I'm pretty sure it's the road which I'm working on, which is the A3052. I think it's something like that. And obviously, I think he realised when he said I was going to walk it. It was like, uh-oh, because like A roads in Devon and Dorset, they're basically motorways. Luckily, this one actually does have pavements, or it has weird little. You walk through little of the housing developments and little maze-like sort of rabbit hutch spaces, but they all kind of interlink. So you can actually walk along it with this part anyway. But I'm not sure about further down. I know it near the donkey sanctuary. It becomes verges, so we'll see. But I unfortunately had an hour's wait for a bus, and I was like, I don't fancy sitting at this bus stop for an hour, so I thought I'd walk it. I've got some, of all things, this is Sidford. I can't work out, it's the River Sid, not El Cid. And, tell Sid, if you see Sid, tell him, it's really confusing how many Sids there are in this area. I can't work out whether I'm in Sidford. I think I'm in Sidford and Sidford Spar, but previously the Waitrose is in Sidbury. I've just walked from, and I haven't walked that far. I've walked like maybe a mile, and then of course it all seems to be in the conurbation of Sidmouth. But back there was the Welcome to Sidmouth sign, so I'm really confused about which Sid is which, really. Do we bury Sid? Do we forge Sid? Or do we maybe don't mouse Sid? That's probably rude. But yeah, it's a weird. I would say it's all kind of like Sidmouth conurbation, but around the Waitrose bit, it was very much like a industrial park in the middle of nowhere. And he goes to someone like Sidford, it does have a pub, the Rising Sun, and it has the infamous and well known and much exalted through the annals of history forevermore Sidford Spar, which was closed. And yeah, I haven't been drinking. I think it's just the sun. But you know, it was nice to meet the dog. I was planning to go into Sidmouth, take the bus into Sidmouth. Again, that wasn't going to happen for a while, and it's going to get too late. And also, my feet were killing me. It's weird how that happens. I'll walk around a shop or something, I'll be fine, and then I'll start to walk around a shop. Then I'll start to really feel it. I think very much it's about hard surfaces like roads and floors, hard floors. As soon as I can walk on grass forever. I don't mean the drug, but you know, maybe, I don't know. Not tried it with the drug, but grass paths fine, earth paths fine. As soon as it gets to stone, chalk, tracks, tarmac, and you know, smooth floors, my feet really start feeling it after a short while. So I thought I'd bail and go back to the campsite, and I bought some nice steak and a few other bits and bobs. I'm trying to keep the weight down. This is the problem. It's like, I don't know how long this is going to be on for, but at least until next week is what I'm planning. I might stay here. It depends on how it goes, really, tomorrow. But I've definitely done Salcombe Mouth. Everything's Mouth around here. Salcombe Mouth to Branscombe. What it's called? Branscombe. Where's Branscombe? Branscombe today. Tomorrow I'll do the reverse to Sidmouth. There is a bit of an uppy downy that's visible, so I know that's been there, but I think a lot of that is going to be like up to the Salcombe Cliffs, I think it is. I think. And then that hill is quite big. But then I think it sort of stays at that level and then just meanders down into Sidmouth. I don't think that's quite uppy downy. And then after that, I mean, we're close enough to get the bus to Sidmouth and walk from there. So I might keep in this area for a while. As I say, annoying to have the lights of the thing at night, but otherwise the shower's brilliant shower. It's like a walk-in shower, so you can actually really, you know, get your legs properly heated, because really after a walk like today, what you really need is a hot shower but on your legs. And again, people say, oh, you don't, the guy from Bestival. The guy that runs Bestival, yeah, he was like, oh, why would you like a shower at the festival? Well, not everyone is as abled as you, thank you. I think was it Giles Peterson? Was it Giles Wankerson, or was it another person? But yeah, it's like, yeah, some of us have eczema and all kinds of fun skin complaints, so if we don't actually shower, things go really bad. I mean, I didn't when I was at the place that should not be named, and that's how I knew at 3 a.m. their showers were shit. But then I tried the next day and it was still shit. So because I just woke up itching, and so I was like, I didn't need a shower, even though I'm trying to save the 20p's, and I didn't have a very heavy walking day. So yeah, so some of us do need it. It's not some kind of like, oh, you can just be grubby for 3 days. Well, yes and no. It depends what you're doing. But if you are actually doing any serious exertions, some of us my extra kicks off as soon as it gets too sweaty, salty. Yes. So last night I had to do a lot of pretty much, even it overrode the antihistamines. So this is what destroyed Jaunt 3. Right, sorry. Is that I had to, very strange, This is what destroyed Jaunt 3, is I had to go and, I had to go home and slather myself with my extra cream, my steroidal cream, and luckily we've learnt from that, and so rather than suffer for several days necking every antihistamine I can find and finding out it doesn't do anything, and then trying every single cream, I just go, here we are, fuck off, expert, try this, and it worked. So it's just because polyester and sweating and even down to ironically having showers, it's like it's a weird trade-off. Legs love it, skin can be a bit about it, so if you don't do it, it gets itchy. If you do it too much, then the skin goes into meltdown. The blue ball in. Now that weird pause is somebody in a tie-dye shirt and then on an expensive DSLR camera just decided to, what the hell? Very strange. Someone it's just this smoke up on. I think it's just smoke. I hope it isn't a fire. Loads of smoke up at on Salcombe Hill. But here's Blue Ball Inn at Sidford. I don't know whether I want to stay here. And I don't know where the bus goes. If it stops around here. I'm not sure. But yes, I'm not totally sure about if we have any pass. If we have any pass to come up. So anyway, I'll sign off.